and where were you born?
Rouse County, Missouri, up Perry, Missouri.
What was your favorite toy?
I guess the doll.
Okay, what was school like?
Where did you get the doll from?
Doll?
Yeah.
I had,
Eldridge
at
or-
one time I had a Shirley Temple doll. I think that was my, I believe that, I don't know, I'm not sure if it was my first one, but it's pretty near my first one. But that was Judy Garland, or something like that.
What was school like?
What was school like? I started to school when I was 5 years old. So I was very bashful and didn't want to talk to anybody. And my teacher was real nice.
And what grade did you go into?
I went into the first grade.
And how many classes were there?
There was eight in our school. It was a one-room schoolhouse. I only had the one room, and the kids went all the way up to the 8th grade, from the 1st to the 8th.
What games did you play?
What games? We played hide-go-seek, and I would run around the schoolhouse, and such as that. We played hopscotch, and then in the winter we played boxing the geese.
Did you still have anything that belonged to you as a kid? Okay. When did your family get a car?
I believe it was 1939, something like that. The first car my mother and dad had, I think, was a Chevy, but then they traded it in and they got a Model T. And then after he had a Model T a little while, they decided to get a Model A, which they liked better than the other car. But the Model T had the one pedal, and well, it had two pedals. It had a stop, one for stop, and one for go. It had two pedals.
What do you remember about your parents' first car?
It was a Model T Ford, and we start to go someplace, and to get there's two towns, and one of them was 11 miles from us and the other 12 miles away. But there was a hill, a big hill, that we had to go up to either town. And the car wouldn't make it up the hill. We all would have to get out of the car and push the car up the hill. That Model T. That was their first car.
Okay. And what was your favorite TV show? Okay. What was your favorite TV show, or what was your favorite radio program?
Well, we watched on the radio. We listened to stories a lot back then, and we had a battery radio, and we had. I have to think about what shows we had back then.
You can just do a radio program. You don't need like TV.
I know, but I'd have to know the name of the radio program. I'd have to do some thinking on that. What programs there were? Amos and Andy, I know I watched.
And did you ever get into trouble? What were the consequences?
Ever get into trouble?
Yeah. If you ever did.
Well, my dad took a switch to me once.
What was that for?
I don't know. I don't remember. Something about that he had got a new lawnmower and he's mowing the grass. And I don't know, I went and sat, I know I got teed off about something or another. I went and was sitting in the car and he decided to spank me. So he took and cut a switch, just a little switch like that. And of course I wore dresses back then, and he switched my legs, made places on my legs, my bare legs.
Ouch.
That's the one I remember. And my mother spanked me one time.
How many siblings did you have? Do you have? And which one was the nicest to you? Yeah, like how many?
Oh, I have 4 sisters and 3 brothers.
Okay. And which one was the nicest to you?
My oldest one. My oldest one. Yeah.
Her name was
Lynette.
Lynette. Oh wait. Were you afraid of anything as a child?
Yes, snakes. We had a lot of them. My dad killed one that had 9 rattlers and a button, which made it 9.5 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And they died, I hear they both died when they're 10 years old. And it's the only, it was right after we moved there, and it was the only snake that he ever, rattlesnake he ever saw.
Wow.
All the time we lived there. We lived there 17 years, and he didn't see another rattlesnake.
What chores did you have to do?
Oh, I had a lot of chores to do. There's a lot of chores on the farm. I shelled corn for the chickens, and I carried like our milk after my dad would separate the milk, the cream from the milk. We'd take the milk to the hogs after it was separated from the cream. So we called that slopping the hogs.
Okay.
And I milked the cows. Well, part of the cows, part of my milk, about 4 or 5. But
What else?
I carried in wood for the cook stove. We had to have split wood for the cook stove, and I carried the wood in for the cook stove, and then by the cold weather, I would carry the heating wood for the heating stove too. Both kinds of wood.
Okay.
In winter.
What was your favorite food?
Back then?
Yeah.
I would say I liked navy beans and sauerkraut back then.
Did you have any pets?
Yeah, I had different pets. I had rabbits, guinea pigs, and cats, dogs, pigeons. I raised pigeons. And chickens. I raised some chickens. Squirrel. I had a squirrel.
Were you alive during a war, and did it impact you at all?
Yeah, I was alive during the Second World War.
Were any of your brothers or sisters in the war?
My 2 brothers were in the service.
What were their names?
They was in the army. Arthur and Charles.
Okay.